Clashes of strength, Rome versus Germania. The protracted struggle between Rome and the Germanic tribes, often defined by brutal battles and contrasting strategies, represents one of the most significant chapters in ancient history. These clashes were not merely contests of military might, but also battles of resilience, culture, and identity. Below is a detailed exploration of the key confrontations, strategies, and outcomes that shaped the epic saga of Rome versus Germania. 1. The origins of conflict. Early skirmishes. The clash between Rome and the Germanic tribes began as Rome expanded northward, encountering fierce resistance from the tribes of Germania. Early encounters. The Roman Republic's first major confrontation with the Germanic tribes came during the Cimbrian War, 113 to 101 BCE. Migrating tribes like the Cimbri and Teutons inflicted severe defeats on Rome, including the disastrous Battle of Orazio, 105 BCE, before being decisively defeated by Gaius Marius at Aquae Sextiae and Vercelli. Impact. These early skirmishes exposed Rome to the fierce and unpredictable fighting style of the Germanic warriors, foreshadowing centuries of conflict. 2. The Roman expansion into Germania, 12 BCE 9 CE. Under Emperor Augustus, Rome sought to conquer and pacify Germania, viewing the region as the next frontier for imperial expansion. Drusus and Tiberius campaigns. Roman generals Drusus the Elder and Tiberius led expeditions deep into Germania, establishing forts and defeating tribal coalitions. Drusus pushed as far as the Elbe River, earning a reputation as one of Rome's most daring commanders. The turning point, the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, 9 CE. Arminius, a Cheruscan leader and former Roman ally, united several tribes to ambush and annihilate 3 Roman legions led by Varus. This catastrophic defeat marked the end of Roman expansion into Germania. Impact. The defeat at Teutoburg Forest was a humiliation for Rome and a defining moment for Germania. The Rhine River became the de facto boundary of the Roman Empire in the north, symbolizing the limits of Roman power. 3. The retaliation of Germanicus, 14 to 16 CE. In the aftermath of Teutoburg Forest, Rome launched a series of punitive campaigns under Germanicus, determined to restore its honor. Key battles. Battle of Itastaviso, 16 CE. Germanicus decisively defeated Arminius' coalition near the Weser River. Retrieval of legionary eagles. Germanicus recovered 2 of the 3 lost eagle standards, symbolizing Rome's resilience. Impact. While Germanicus' campaigns inflicted heavy losses on the Germanic tribes, they failed to achieve lasting conquest. Emperor Tiberius eventually recalled Germanicus, deeming Germania too costly to hold. 4. Frontier clashes. The Marcomannic Wars, 166 to 180 CE. During the reign of Marcus Aurelius, the Germanic tribes launched large-scale invasions across the Danube frontier, threatening the empire's stability. Germanic invasions. The Marcomanni and Quadi, along with other tribes, breached Roman defenses and ravaged the provinces of Pannonia and Noricum, even reaching northern Italy. Roman counterattacks. Marcus Aurelius personally led campaigns to push back the invaders, achieving several victories and restoring the Danube frontier. Impact. The Marcomannic Wars drained Rome's resources but preserved its borders. These conflicts demonstrated the growing threat posed by Germanic tribes as they grew more organized and ambitious. 5. The crisis of the 3rd century, 235 to 284 CE. Rome's internal instability during this period created opportunities for Germanic incursions. The Alemanni and Franks. These confederations launched raids across the Rhine, sacking Roman cities and plundering vast territories. Roman response. Leaders like Aurelian and Gallienus mounted counteroffensives, temporarily stabilizing the frontiers. Impact. The repeated clashes during this period weakened Rome's ability to maintain its borders, setting the stage for the migrations and invasions of the following centuries. 6. The Battle of Argentoratum, 357 CE. One of Rome's last great victories against the Germanic tribes occurred during the reign of Julian the Apostate. Conflict. Facing a massive invasion by the Alemanni, Julian commanded a smaller Roman force near Strasbourg. Using disciplined formations and clever tactics, the Romans decisively defeated the Alemanni, capturing their leader, Cnodamar. Impact. The victory secured the Rhine frontier for decades, but it was a fleeting triumph in the broader context of Rome's declining power. 7. The migration period and the fall of Rome, 4th to 5th century CE. The migration period saw Germanic tribes push deeper into Roman territory, culminating in the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Battle of Adrianople, 378 CE. The Visigoths, fleeing the Huns, defeated a Roman army led by Emperor Valens. This devastating loss exposed the fragility of Roman defenses. The sack of Rome, 410 CE, led by Alaric I, the Visigoths sacked Rome, marking a symbolic end to Roman dominance. The crossing of the Rhine, 406 CE, the Vandals, Suebi, and Burgundians crossed the frozen Rhine, overwhelming Roman defenses and spreading chaos throughout Gaul and Spain. Odoacer's deposition of Romulus Augustulus, 476 CE, a Germanic leader, Odoacer, deposed the last Western Roman emperor, officially ending the Western Roman Empire. Impact. These events marked the culmination of centuries of conflict between Rome and Germania, with the Germanic tribes emerging as the dominant powers in post-Roman Europe. 8. The Gothic War, 535 to 554 CE. The Ostrogoths, who had established a kingdom in Italy, clashed with the Eastern Roman Empire during Justinian's efforts to reclaim the West. Key leaders. Totila, Ostrogothic king, revived Gothic resistance, reclaiming much of Italy before being defeated by the Byzantine general Narses. Belisarius and Narses, Byzantine generals, led the reconquest of Italy, defeating the Ostrogoths in a series of bloody battles. Impact. The Gothic War devastated Italy, marking the end of significant Germanic resistance in the region. However, it paved the way for the Lombards to establish their kingdom in northern Italy. Themes in Rome versus Germania clashes. The power of unity. Leaders like Arminius and Alaric demonstrated that the fragmented Germanic tribes could achieve remarkable victories when united. Roman adaptability. Despite suffering catastrophic defeats, Rome often rebounded through strategic reforms and disciplined military responses. Terrain and tactics. Germanic warriors excelled in guerrilla warfare and used the dense forests and rivers of their homeland to counter Roman discipline and organization. Cultural transformation. Over centuries of conflict, the Germanic tribes adopted Roman customs, Christianity, and governance structures, blending the two worlds. Conclusion. The clashes of strength between Rome and Germania were more than battles. They were defining moments in the evolution of European history. While Rome's discipline and infrastructure allowed it to dominate for centuries, the Germanic tribes' resilience, adaptability, and eventual unity led to the transformation of the Roman world. These confrontations shaped the boundaries, cultures, and identities of both sides, leaving a legacy that endured well beyond the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The story of Rome versus Germania is a testament to the enduring struggle between centralized power and decentralized resistance, a theme that continues to resonate throughout history. 9. The cultural clash of Rome and Germania. While the military confrontations between Rome and the Germanic tribes are well documented, the underlying cultural clash played an equally pivotal role in shaping their prolonged struggle. These differences influenced not only the dynamics of warfare but also the outcomes of centuries of interaction. Roman civilization versus Germanic tribalism. Rome. The Roman Empire represented centralized authority, organized governance, and an urbanized, hierarchical society. Its legions were disciplined and reliant on infrastructure like roads, fortifications, and supply chains to maintain control over vast territories. Germania. In contrast, the Germanic tribes were decentralized, with loyalty rooted in kinship and tribal allegiances. They lived in rural, scattered communities valuing personal freedom, warrior culture, and a deep connection to the land. These differences created a fundamental tension. Rome sought to impose order and control, while the Germanic tribes fiercely defended their autonomy and way of life. The role of religion. Religion was another source of contrast and, eventually, integration. Roman religion, Initially rooted in a pantheon of gods, Roman religion evolved as Christianity became the empire's dominant faith. By the 4th century CE, the spread of Christianity brought a new dimension to Rome's interactions with the tribes. Germanic beliefs. The Germanic tribes worshipped a pantheon of deities, including Woden, Odin, and Thor, and viewed nature as sacred. Conversion to Christianity, often through contact with Rome, brought cultural integration but also internal conflicts within the tribes. The Christianization of tribes like the Visigoths and Ostrogoths facilitated their assimilation into Roman culture while maintaining distinct traditions. Language and law. Language and legal systems also reflected the contrasts and eventual blending of Roman and Germanic societies. Roman influence. Latin became the lingua franca of the Roman world, influencing Germanic languages and providing the foundation for legal and administrative systems in medieval Europe. Germanic contributions. Germanic law emphasized oral traditions, personal loyalty, and communal decision-making, which would later shape the feudal systems of Europe. The fusion of Roman legal traditions with Germanic customs gave rise to a new societal order after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. 10. The transformation of conflict. By the late stages of the Roman-Germanic clashes, the nature of the conflict had shifted from outright military confrontation to a blending of cultures and power structures. Germanic leaders within Rome. Germanic leaders began to rise within the Roman military and administrative systems, reflecting the empire's increasing reliance on foederati, allied tribes, to defend its borders. Stilicho, Vandal Roman general, one of Rome's most capable military leaders, Stilicho defended the empire against numerous threats, including Alaric and the Visigoths, while navigating his dual identity as both Roman and Germanic. Odoacer, Germanic king of Italy, by deposing the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, in 476 CE, Odoacer symbolized the transition from Roman rule to Germanic dominance in the West. The Germanic kingdoms. As the Western Roman Empire collapsed, Germanic tribes established their own kingdoms within former Roman territories. The Visigoths. After sacking Rome, the Visigoths settled in Hispania and Gaul, forming a kingdom that blended Roman governance with Germanic traditions. The Ostrogoths. Under Theodoric the Great, the Ostrogoths ruled Italy, preserving much of Roman culture while asserting their independence. The Vandals. Establishing a kingdom in North Africa, the Vandals became a naval power, challenging Roman and Byzantine dominance in the Mediterranean. These kingdoms laid the foundations for medieval Europe, merging Roman infrastructure and administration with Germanic cultural values.